What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Light back here with another YouTube video, and today we got a bit of a discussion video. I realized I haven't done a discussion video in about a week or so, a little bit. But usually I do Let's Talks, which are different. But this is purely opinionated, kind of just talking with viewers kind of thing. But and it's not like a review; it's an open-ended discussion. Anyone is welcome to join in the comment section down below. But yeah, today we're doing a bit of a topic that a lot of people have been talking about recently, and it is who is the best Spider-Man out of the three. So if you don't know, there's about three Spider-Man. There's Toby Maguire Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man, and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. I just listed them in order that they're here. So yeah, in case you're wondering, from right to left. So yeah, if you didn't know, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was the first Spider-Man. He's back in at least the Sony Spider-Man. Technically, there's more before him, but yeah, we're just getting classified as three Spider-Man right now. So we have Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, who appeared in about three movies. He had a trilogy with Sam Raimi. Yeah. Then there's Tom Holland, the one in the middle. He has been in. He has his own two solo movies. Plus, he's been in like Avengers movies and stuff like that. So he's been in like over three movies. I'll just say I can't. Let me count it up right now. He's been in his two solo movies. He's been in the two Avengers five movies. He's been in five movies so far. Plus, he's going to be in his third movie, which he's getting this December. And then we have Andrew Garfield, who appeared in two movies. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So throughout the years, we've had different Spider-Man for different reasons, such as uh, they needed to recast him because they were giving the rights to Marvel. They weren't giving the rights, but they were doing some Marvel stuff, like the MCU stuff. I'm pretty sure that's the reason with Andrew Garfield. And then there's like stuff like I don't remember what exactly happened with Tobey Maguire, but yeah. So in order to answer this question, it's gonna be a bit hard, honestly. I have no definitive answer, to be honest with you guys. There's an answer for who's the best Peter Parker, who has the best aspects of Spider-Man, who has the best like gadgets wise, powers wise, who is the most comic accurate. There's a lot of different things you can put in, like narrow it down, but obviously everybody's opinions are going to be different. Yeah, if you don't like something I don't like, oh well, I'm not going to say anything to you. I hope you don't say anything to me when I say something I like that you don't like, for example. But yeah, you can see here, there's the three Spider-Man. See, let's just start here because a lot of people have been saying Peter Parker. Now, yeah, so with Peter Parker, really in like the comics and stuff, he's pretty much like a high school kid, but he usually transitions to adulthood later on in the comics and stuff. But yeah, he's basically kind of like a nerd kid or whatever that gets these powers, and he doesn't show his face or nothing. And yeah, you guys kind of get the nerd. Like he's pretty much a nerd turned hero, and he kind of acts nerdy still, but it's more toned down. Uh, yeah. Yeah. I will. One thing I must say is it's probably. I wouldn't say. I'm gonna be honest, with you guys. Tom Holland is not. Is clearly we're cutting him out from best Peter Parker. Literally, Peter Parker. Tom Holland's Peter Parker isn't really that. Not even comic accurate. It's not even really Peter Parker accurate, honestly, because it really that's the problem with Tom Holland Spider Man is it shows loads of Spider Man but not Peter Parker, which I think is very strange. But yeah, for that exact reason, he's cut out automatically. It narrows it down to now Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. Now, like I just said before, Spider Man transitions. Most of the comics is him in his adulthood, not in high school. So, and these two actors did it well. Well, the writing did it well, but yeah, they're not in the all two of these the two of these guys are not in high school for their entire movies. They're transitioning kind of to adulthood now. Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man, he does it really well because he showcases more of, again, because Peter's a nerd and he's not like some social guru or something like that. So that's what I like especially a lot about Peter Parker, especially I mean Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker, is that when he's like talking with, for example, Gwen Stacy, you can kind of see he's like not socially awkward, but he's not. He sometimes acts cringe, kind of thing. Like he, I'm not saying that in a bad way or something. Like that's exactly what you should be doing with Peter Parker because even when before he was Spider-Man, he was cracking jokes and stuff like in stupid situations. For example, when Flash was beating him up, he made a joke or something like that, and I thought that was really showcasing that as well. And he was also kind of showing his whole heroic kind of side, like he was like stop bullying him or whatever, when even before he was actually Spider-Man. So I thought that was really interesting, especially what Andrew Garfield brought to the table. Toby Maguire, it's a little bit complicated to say, to be honest with you, because the difference between him and Andrew Garfield is that he had friends and stuff, and it wasn't like he was like Andrew Garfield Spider-Man was kind of a loner, to be honest with you. Uh, and yeah, I definitely thought that was, yeah, he's like was very much kind of a loner. Where Tobey Maguire had Harry, he had MJ and all that from the start, pretty much, or not MJ, but Harry from the start. Uh, so it's kind of hard to point out if he was really that bad, but like in the Spider-Man one, when he gets MJ, he's not really acting not cringe, but he's not acting like Peter Parker or something like that. Yeah, he has the nerdiness, but you kind of see it go away as he grows up. Like honestly, you see it go away as the movies progress, and where in Andrew Garfield's case, he doesn't. It doesn't really progress a lot. He stays nerdy. Like in the second one, he's still using nerd stuff, or not nerd stuff like that. Sorry, but he's not acting. He still acts smart and uses science and stuff. Uh, whereas Tobey Maguire slowly goes away. So I definitely thought that was really interesting, and I think for that reason, I'm crowning Andrew Garfield as the best Peter Parker. Uh, yeah, in terms of best Spider-Man, like you can pick whoever you want because different people, like some people grew up with the Raimi trilogy, or some people grew up with the Amazing Spider-Man movies or whatever. Uh, and some people can relate to different things in a different way. Like you can maybe relate to Andrew Garfield, for example, because you're pretty much a loner, pretty much, and you're trying to fit in with kind of, and you're processing death, and your loved one just died, and it's kind of dark, and yeah, you could relate to Andrew Garfield Spider-Man like that. Or maybe you can relate to Tom Holland Spider-Man because you're a kid and no one believes you can do. Barely anyone believes that you can make good decisions and kind of do more, kind of thing. That's what people can probably relate to with him. Uh, Definitely with Sam Raimi or uh, not Sam Raimi, sorry, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, you could probably relate to the struggles of adulthood kind of thing. That I feel like it's for all ages, to be honest with you guys. It's for you can relate to it at any age. Uh, like you can relate to it when you're a teenager. You can relate to it when you're in your 20s. You can relate to it when you're almost 30 or something like that. So I definitely like the three Spider-Man for those reasons, and yeah, I really like that. So yeah, it's obviously everyone's gonna have different answers. Like personally, I didn't grow up with Sam Raimi's trilogy. I watched it a lot as a kid, and I watched Spider-Man 3 back. Like I remember watching that. I think I watched it in theaters or something like that. But yeah, like you could again like those you can grow up with it with ever, and like Amazing Spider-Man, especially for me, I kind of grew up with that as well, where I could physically remember. But yeah, and back in Spider-Man 3 was like I don't remember it too much. Like I remember it now, but I can't remember if I watched it in theaters or whatnot. But yeah, like you can relate to it through those reasons or the reasons I just said, or yeah. Uh, Next thing is maybe comic accurate. Again, I don't think Tom Holland's very comic accurate. His Spider-Man's cool, but again, it's not comic accurate. And I know you might be saying to yourself, "Oh, it does not have to be comic accurate for everything." Well, I think you're kind of basing it off comic books, and I understand that as well. I understand. Like I'm not the one of those people who are like comic accurate this, but you have to have at least some because it's basing off of comic books. If you don't do that, you're basically just making a superhero movie based off nothing. So, yeah, Tom Holland is not very comic book accurate, to be honest with you guys. Obviously, we have different Peter Parkers, like for example, Sam Raimi's trilogy or Toby Maguire Spider-Man had MJ as his love interest, Mary Jane, and then in Amazing Spider-Man, at least for the two movies we saw, it was Gwen Stacy as his love interest. So yeah, it's definitely hard to say, but yeah, it's kind of hard to say, especially because Amazing Spider-Man only had two movies, whereas Sam Raimi had three movies, plus he had just more characters and stuff, and I believe the movies were a bit longer and stuff like that. But yeah, you can definitely relate it. Personally, right now, my favorite overall Peter. Some people are not gonna like this, but I kind of like Tom Holland Spider-Man. I think he's all right, but I'm growing towards more of Tobey Maguire, to be honest with you guys. I don't know. I like his Spider-Man. I like all Spider-Man. I like all of them. Uh, but like yeah, yet again, I kind of grew up kind of. Uh, yeah, I kind of grew up with Amazing Spider-Man slash going towards the end of Spider-Man, the Raimi trilogy. So yeah, I wanted to point that out as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Uh, yeah, comment down below. What's your guys' favorite Spider-Man or overall Spider-Man or like Peter Parker, whatever you're choosing your category. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.